Alapaya eat fried dumpling. Alapaya eat fried dumpling. Jamaican baby, Jamaican baby. Alapaya eat fried dumpling. Today is a new day. Hi, I'm Ashley, the Constant Wanderer, and this week's vlog is called Fast Food. And it's all about weaning on the go. Now there are tips in this that are sort of Jamaica centric and they're based on our experience in Jamaica, but they can be applied to travelling anywhere in the world with a baby or a weaning baby. So when I'm at home, I tend to batch cook food. Whatever Dan and I are eating, I batch cook it, I mash it and I store it. I carried out these little pouches with me. Little Tupperware pots, you can get these reusable pouches and you know anything like this that you can use to store food, to freeze food. And when you're in different countries, wherever you are in the world, the same principles apply. You know, you've got to eat when you're cooking for yourself, mash them for the babe, and the babe can eat as well. But obviously you're on holiday, right? So you don't want to be cooking and mashing and sweating it out in the kitchen all hours. So it is useful to have some ready-made meals with you. And when we went to Jamaica, I bought out as many Ella pouches as I could. Sometimes I would even, you know, have a bit of mashed potato and mix it with half a pouch just to bulk it up and to make her meal times a little bit more interesting. I bought so many out with me initially as well because I wanted to suss the lay of the land. And for the first few days in any country, you need to figure out where to buy things, you know, what food is available, what facilities are available, and the last thing that you want to be doing is panicking about how your child's going to eat. One thing about Jamaica is that the baby food aisles were filled with jar food, which came in really handy, but they were all fruit based and dessert based. So there were mangoes and pears and like all these delicious papaya and guava combinations. But it wasn't until Kingston, like 9 weeks later, that we found savoury baby food ready-made. So when we first arrived in Jamaica, Alapay was only 7 months old. As I said, she was weaning and she was actually mainly breastfed. And I found in the hot climate that she reverted to a 3-month-old pattern of feeding where she was on my boob every 2 to 3 hours. And it was exhausting. Guys, oh my days, I felt like a milkmaid. Because I've got that breastfeeding mummy ego of like, oh, breast is best, and like, you know, I don't want to give my baby formula on my days. But after a few weeks of being really exhausted and drained from breastfeeding every 2 to 3 hours, I did finally like give in and take the advice that my cousins and my aunts were giving me to supplement my breastfeeding with formula. Now it's a very Jamaican thing to bulk a baby up. They have a tradition of adding things like oats or anything to kind of thicken the baby's milk to make it a bit more heavy and fulfilling and satisfying and to keep them happy for longer. Maybe it's an evolution from living in a hot country and in a hot climate and knowing that babies and people need more energy to burn. And I tell you something, it really took the pressure off. So not only when we're at home, but when we travel, Dan and I really love to eat out. And I know a lot of parents out there are afraid to do so. And all I can say is, you know, every child's different, so there's no blanket rule for all children, but I'd say just get out there and give it a go. It's no longer that romantic bubble that it used to be when it's just you and your partner gazing into each other's eyes over a candlelit supper. Maybe some management to do, but you know, for me, I prefer to have a bit of management out at a restaurant than to sit in my hotel room or to sit at home and not go out. And I think you'll find with a lot of kids that the hustle and bustle and all of the activity inside of a restaurant is a great distraction from bad behaviour. A tip for eating out with a baby is to ask the kitchen to make you some food. You're in a restaurant. For the cost of a side dish, we'd get delivered a beautiful medley of like whatever veg they had in the kitchen, mashed and ready to eat. There's always these huge portions as well. If you ask for a doggy bag, sorted, you've got lunch and dinner for the next day as well. My next tip for travelling with a baby, if you're weaning or if you know they're starting to be introduced to new food, is let them try everything. Alapay tried to fry dumplings. I was like, oh, greasy, fried, oh, I don't know if she'll go. She ate it, she loved it. She tried ice cream for the first time. Last one. Is that nice? That's what Devon House ice cream does to a baby. I didn't give her too much of it, but I let the girl try it. You know, food is supposed to be fun. Food is supposed to be exploration. And what better place to explore food than in another country? In the Caribbean, it's kind of the done thing to suck the bone. After you finished eating the meat off of it, you kind of suck all the sauce off, you suck the bone marrow out if it's got, you know, some bone marrow buried in there. One of the really good things that we were able to do for Alipe, she was teething and weaning at the same time, so there was loads of stuff going on, and a chicken bone held the answer to everything, giving her a whole chicken bone to hold and to suck and to chew, kept her occupied for 45 minutes at a time. This girl was so happy. That's it. Those are my 6 tips for weaning on the go. Just to summarise, carry some storage things with you so that you can do whatever you do at home. I know that you're a breastfeeding goddess, congratulations, but supplement with breast milk if it's going to make your life that much easier. Bring pouches from home. Bring Ella pouches or whatever your favourite brand of ready-made food is. When you're eating out, ask a restaurant to whip you something up and take whatever's left over in the doggy bag with you. Don't be afraid to try new things. If the baby doesn't like it, they don't like it. But if they do, you might have found something new to introduce to their diet. The good old chicken bone. It might not be to everyone's tastes, but it bloody works. Next time on The Constant Wanderer, the Dashleys are reunited and we make our way from Discovery Bay to Port Antonio in Portland, the parish where even Jamaicans go to holiday.